Yo guys, I've been working on this presentation. It's called Clear Thinking is the New Programming Language. And I will go through here how we're transitioning from the syntax era into the specification era. And why this is important for you to know and why this will bring you value is so that you know which skills to focus on that will be very useful and valuable for the long term. Not the short term skills like the AI tools, etc. that are just popping up each week and each month. But these are what will give you long-term value and what will be actually very valuable in the future. I will differentiate you between the people who do not know this, who will be replaceable. You will become somebody who is irreplaceable, and also differentiate yourselves even from machines, from the AI. At the end of the video, I'll share 3 AI tools that might be useful for you or your business. Just some quick tools, fun tools so you can use. And also, I'm now giving you the in-depth of this that I've been working on, so you understand better like what you should focus on, what you need to learn, etc. But also at the end of the video, I really recommend you to check this out. I'm going to add a clip of, I don't know when the interview was, but it was a short interview of Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, and what he thinks about this and how we're actually heading there. And if there's somebody who knows and it is at the forefront of this, it is the CEO of Nvidia. So anyways, let's head into this. The big picture, long-term skills, transition period, clear thinking, final conclusion, and AI tools. Programming has always been about one core thing, articulating exactly what you want the system to do. For decades, that was difficult because we lived in the syntax era. You had to learn programming languages, C++, C#, Python, Java, etc. Rules, frameworks, exact formatting. If you made a small mistake, the system failed. Understanding how to say something mattered more than what you wanted. Now that era is changing. We're moving into what I call the specification era. AI can write code. AI can configure workflows. AI can connect systems. The bottleneck is no longer technical execution. The bottleneck is articulation. It's your ability to clearly describe the outcomes you want. This is part of the natural evolution of AI. The better AI gets, the less we need to manually write code, and the more important it becomes to communicate intent clearly. In other words, we're slowly offloading technical labor to the machines and shifting human value toward thinking, judgment, and direction. And this changes what skills matter in the long run. The most important skills won't be syntax or tooling. The long-term skills, and I will go more in depth into exactly the skills, but let's continue. Long-term skills will be critical thinking, systems thinking, clear communication, defining goals and constraints, and making trade-offs. These are the things that machines don't truly do. They're human skills, so instead of competing with machines at execution, we should double down on what makes us human and let machines handle the technical work. The human skills that matter the most. These are the 6 long-term skills, and I've written the definition and why it matters and the future importance of these skills. Anyways, let's continue. Number 1 is clear thinking. The definition of clear thinking is the ability to define a problem precisely and remove ambiguity. Why it matters? AI can't guess intent, only interpret what you specify. Future role, distilling a messy real-world needs into crisp specifications. Number 2, critical thinking. Definition of critical thinking is evaluating information using logic and reasoning, not biases or superficial patterns. And why this matters is because AI gives confident answers even when wrong. It hallucinates, etc. So yeah. Future role, verifying models, assessing risk, spotting flawed assumptions. Number 3, judgment. Definition, choosing between good, better, and best answers under uncertainty. Why it matters? Many problems have no correct answers, only contextually optimal answers. Future role, business decisions, ethical trade-offs, and long-term planning. Number 4, problem framing. Definition, parsing a complex situation to find the real core issue. Why it matters? Misframed problems lead to irrelevant solutions. Future role, designing AI systems that actually solve real human problems. Number 5, interpreting and communicating meaning. Definition, translating outcomes and insights into value for humans. And why this matters is because data plus models equals numbers. Humans need narratives and clarity to understand. Future role, leadership, teaching, and stakeholder communication. Number 6, creativity and conceptual flexibility. Definition, generating novel ideas and seeing patterns that others miss. Why this matters is because AI recombines existing patterns humans imagine what doesn't yet exist. Future role, innovation, design, and strategy. And these 6 skills are basically interlinked, but these are the most important long-term skills that will make you basically much more irreplaceable and make you invaluable, basically. Now we'll go through the transition period, and where we are right now, we're already at the phase 4. Sorry about that. Phase 1 is the 1950s and 1956. I think it was Alan Turing in 1950s who set up the machine rules, and then phase 2 was the syntax and rules era. Phase 3, the deep learning, breakthrough, model era, APIs, technical users, 2012 to 2021, as you can see. And right now, where we are heading towards the specification era. And it started in 2022, ChatGPT publicly released, natural language, intent-based systems, AI agents. We're basically transitioning, we're in the middle of it. I'm not saying that we have already completed this transition or we are at the end of it. No, that's where there's still much work to do, but something I want you to realize here is that 2022, it became public, these ChatGPTs, etc., publicly released. And we have it has only passed 4 years. So we are going, this evolution is going really, really fast. So it is so important to actually understand the importance of this and already position yourself towards where we are heading. That's the smartest path to take. Anyways, let's continue. Here I added like from the MIT Nanda study where they interviewed 300 companies that had done public implementations of AI and their ROI. As you can see, they only had only 5% of the companies had a positive ROI, and 95% had zero returns at all. 30 to 40 billion in enterprise investment into a generative AI, 95% of organizations are getting zero return. And that's because of their implementations, and that's a part of the text over here. That's why I wanted to add this, so you can get like a figurative image of this. Anyways, but this part is important. We need to be realistic about where we are right now. We're currently in the transition period or era. Today, using AI without understanding the underlying workflow is like, this is a great metaphor, is like using a GPS without knowing how to drive. You might reach the destination, but the moment the signal drops, the road is closed or something unexpected happens, you're completely stranded. The tools feel powerful, but you don't actually understand the system. Experienced practitioners, basically programmers, engineers, etc., instinctively know how to frame the problem first before jumping into solutions. They know which questions reveal real constraints, not just technical limitations, but business goals, edge cases, trade-offs, ethics, and success criteria. And they can judge outputs not by surface plausibility alone, but by internal consistency, by causal logic, and by real-world results. Why this matters is because most AI outputs look plausible even when it's wrong. AI doesn't judge results, humans do. That's why having good judgment is so important, and all the other skills we mentioned earlier. The future's best professionals will be those who evaluate, not just generate. Everybody's generating now, but that doesn't mean it's been evaluated or it's actually high quality, considering how the vibe coding and these tools are popping up all the time. AI doesn't replace that knowledge, it amplifies it. So we're in a transition period. On one side, AI is reducing the need to manually write code. On the other side, understanding systems still matters. You don't need to know everything, but you need to know enough to reason about what's happening, because vague thinking creates vague instructions, and vague instructions produce fragile systems. That's why many AI projects fail, not because the models are weak, not because the tools are bad, but because the thinking is unclear. Clear thinking is now the core skill. Being precise, defining constraints, articulating intent, that is the new programming language. And if you can't explain what you want the system to do, no AI, no agent, no automation will save you. Clear thinking is the future of coding languages. Here are the 3 AI tools I thought I'd share with you guys. It's MintShot. MintShot is an AI-powered headshot generator that creates professional studio quality portrait photos from just a few selfies. You just upload several selfies and it will create a professional portrait for you that you can use for LinkedIn profiles, resumes, personal branding, and team pages, giving you polished, realistic headshots without a traditional photo shoot. Number 2, StudioFi. This one is very cool, especially if you have like an e-commerce company and sell clothes, etc. Maybe what are they called? Like I've forgotten the name, but drop shipping companies, etc. Yeah. Anyways, StudioFi. StudioFi is an AI photo editor built for online sellers on Depop, Vinted, Poshmark, and similar platforms. Upload quick phone snaps of clothes or products, and it cleans up backgrounds, improves lighting, and makes your photos look professional, saving time and helping your listing stand out without manual editing. I think you can even basically you can upload the clothes, and they can put it up on several AI models, so you can see how the clothes look and fit on the models. That's quite cool. Then you can take that and use it for your website. So instead of paying a real model, etc., and taking the time there, you will save several hours. Anyways, Blink. Blink is a new next generation AI app builder that lets you turn natural language descriptions into fully functioning apps and software, including front-end, back-end, database authentication, and hosting without writing conventional code. It's part of the vibe coding movement. You describe what you want and the AI builds it end-to-end. These are some cool small tools you can use. Try them out. Anyways, I've seen some people, more and more people are watching my videos. I really appreciate it. If you followed me, liked the video. I just ordered a new webcam also so I can make better recordings, and I will get better at this. I will share more with you guys, more tools, more knowledge, more things to think about, more value. That's my mission with this. Anyways, take care, and please check out the short interview clip at the end of this with Jensen Huang so you can understand exactly more of where we are heading through.
Who's the smartest person I've ever met? I can't answer that question. And I know what people are thinking. The definition of smart is somebody who's intelligent, solve problems, technical. But I find that that's a commodity. And we're about to prove that artificial intelligence is able to handle that part easiest.
Right.
Yeah. And so as it turns out, let me give you another example. Everybody thought software programming is the ultimate smart profession. Look what is the first thing that AI is solving: software programming. And so it turns out that the definition of smart is very different than most people think. I think long-term, the definition of smart, and my personal definition of smart is someone who sits at that intersection of being technically astute, but human empathy and having the ability to infer the unspoken, around the corners, the unknowables. You know, people who are able to see around corners are truly smart, and their value is incredible. To be able to preempt problems before they show up, just because you feel the vibe, and the vibe came from a combination of data analysis, first principle, life experience, wisdom, sensing other people. Mm-hmm. That vibe, I think that's smart. That I think is going to be the future definition of smart. And that person might actually score horribly on the SAT.